Well, I'm glad you came back. I wasn't sure after we ended that last session. I thought you might stay like this and say, I'm not taking any more of this. But I did say I was going to turn that frown into something. I guess a happy smile, right? Yay, we'll put some lipstick on too. Good. Make him look like one of those crazy clown guys. Okay, so we were talking about vanadium and calcium and how all of a sudden we drop in a 4S and then it comes to 3D and it really gets messy and we have to worry about this absolute energy of the orbitals and it's just so much to memorize. Yeah, it is so much to memorize and I promised you that I would give you a trick and here's the trick. The periodic table. Okay, so take out your periodic table and get some crayons and things because I'm going to have you color the periodic table. The first thing we want to do is I want you to outline the first two columns here and also include helium with that, okay? And put that in one color. And we're going to put a big S in the middle of it. And we're going to call this the S block. Now, at the top of the columns, I want you to put S1 and S2. Got it? Good. Now, go to boron and go from we need a different color. Go with green next. Let's go with boron all the way to neon, neon down this way. Good. And in the middle of that, we're going to put a P. That's going to become our P block. And we're going to say this is P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and right here where neon is and everything below it will be P6. Good. New color? Let's go with black. Right in the middle. Put a big block right here in the middle. And we're going to put a D in the middle, and that's our D block. And we say this is D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D9, and D10. Good. And finally, what color do I have left? Blue. Put a big block around these bottom 14 columns, and we're going to put an F in the middle of that, and this is our F block, and we'll go from F1 all the way to F14. Hey, do you guys see a pattern here? S, right? Well, I have what? One at every level. I have one sphere, and how many electrons can one sphere hold? Up to two, right? And so I have two wide. Then I have some p orbitals, and how many p orbitals do I have? Well, remember I have a px, a py, and a pz. So that means I have three p's altogether, and my p's altogether can occupy 6 electrons, or 6 electrons can probably, most likely, be found there. How many orbitals do I have when I have d's? I have 5 d's, right? I always have 5 d orbitals, and if I have 5 d orbitals, that means I could place a total of 10 electrons in those 5 d's. Wow, I understand. I understand. Good. So that's the first thing. Now, next, what do you want to write down? You want to write down N, because there is a relationship between N, meaning my energy level. And remember, when I say something like 4s2, what is that 4? Well, 4 is the N, right? That's the energy level. So there's a relationship between N and the period. Now, hold on. Let me clean this up a little bit. Got a little ahead of myself. For S block and P block. Okay, for S block and P blocks, there's a relationship. N is equal to the period number. Okay, what's a period? A period is a row in the periodic table. Like that is a period and that is a period. Now, what do I mean by the number? Well, if you look on the left here, There's a whole set of numbers, right? There's a 1, and there's a 2, and there's a 3. Well, that's the period number. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. So everything in that row going from left to right is in period 7. So MT is in period 7. 116 is in period 7. RN is in period 6. Okay, good. So we can look at the periodic table. We can figure out our N for our electron configuration by looking at the period number. Now, how do I use this? Okay, let's go up here and let's do some that we already know. Let's take helium, right? Let's take helium. No, let's take lithium. I like lithium better. So let's take lithium. We know lithium. Where is lithium? It is in my second period. And notice it's under the 1s. Now, when I take those two together, that tells me that how my lithium will end. Lithium will end as it's in the second period, 2, and it's in my S1 row, right here, S1 row. And so that means it's going to end as a 2s1. Now, everything always begins with hydrogen, right? So that means it has to go from hydrogen over to helium, and then when I hit helium, that means that is 1s, not 1s1, but 1s2. Got it? So lithium would be 1s2, 2s1. Let's think of another one. How about, let's do beryllium. Where is beryllium? It's in my S block. It's in my second period. So beryllium would end up as a 2s2. Now, where do we start? Always with hydrogen. We go from 1s2 to 2s2. Okay, beryllium, great. What about if we did nitrogen before, right? Let's do nitrogen. Well, where is nitrogen? It is in what block? It's in the P block. It is a P3, right? And what period? This is second period. So that means nitrogen would end with a 2p, what did I say? 2p3, ends as a 2p3. Now where does it start? Well, starts and does 1s2. So we have to write down 1s2. 1s2. And then where did it go? Well, after the helium, it has to go through my lithium and beryllium, and that is what? 2s2. 2s2. 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. There we go. Great. Piece of cake. All right, now, what's next? Next thing is for my D block. For my D block, I have to say what? It is N equals period number -1. Okay, period number -1. So here we go. Let's go back to our vanadium. Here's our vanadium, right? It is in the D block. It would be a D3. Now, what period is it? It's fourth period. So if I want my N, I'm going to take my fourth period. I'm going to take my fourth period -1, meaning my N for vanadium is going to be 3. And so that means it's going to be a 3D3 is the last electron, 3D3. So you know what? Let's just do vanadium right here. Here's vanadium. We know it's going to end in a 3D3, right? Good. Where does it start? Well, like everything else starts. It starts at 1s2, and then I have to go through these guys, 2s2, then I have to go through these guys, which are what? Those are my P's, and they're in my second, so they're 2p. And how many of them are there? 6. Oops, I'm going to have to move my 3D3 farther away. Okay, so now after I go through my 2p6, where do I go? I come over here to my third period, and I go through my S's, so that means I have 3s2, and then I go through my P's, and that's still what? What group is that, or what period is that? That's still a 3. So I go through 3p, and how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3p6. And then after that, I have to go through these two guys, which are in my S block, and they are what period? 4. So 4s2, and then I get to my D block, and D block is always one less than my period. This is my fourth period, so I end up with a 3d3. So that is how I can get vanadium. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d3. Great. All right. Think you guys can do that? Try a neutral zinc and bromine atoms. Give that a shot on your own, and come back to me when you're ready for an answer. Okay, zinc. Let's find zinc. Let's find zinc. Ooh, let me clean up some of this. Okay, good. So we're cleaning this up. Where is zinc? Here is zinc. Let me make sure we keep our blocks. Here's my D block, right? Here's zinc. And zinc is a, let's clean up some of this. Boy, do I make a mess. Zinc is a D10, right? Let's go back and let's put my P block back into place. Oops, not helium. Helium is part of the S block. There we go. Okay, so here is zinc. Zinc is in the D block. What period is it? It is in the fourth period, and it is a D10, so I know it's going to end up as 4D, not 4. Nope. It's the fourth period, right, guys? Fourth period, but for my D block, it is period -1 that will give me my N. So that's a 3. So I know it's going to end as a 3D10. Okay? Let's see. Where can I draw that? Where can I put this? Let's put it right over here. Oh, we don't have space there. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff down here, folks. Okay. Okay. So here we go. We know it's going to end as a 3D10. Where do we start? We start over here at 1s2, right? We go from hydrogen to helium. It's 1s2. Then we have to go through these guys, and those are what? 2s2. And then we have to go through these guys, and that is 2p6. And then we have to place these electrons, 11 and 12, so that's 3s2. And then we have to place electrons 13 through 18, so that's 3p6. And then we have to place electrons 19 and 20, and that is what? 4s2. And then we place these last, and that's 3d10. So for my zinc, to make this pretty, it would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. And remember, my D is always one less than the period. And so it's always going to be one less than the S in front of it, by the way, folks. Good. Bromine. Let's look at bromine. Are you ready? Let's take a look at my periodic table. And I have to clean it up a little bit. Let's clean up all of this. This is such a mess. There we go. Bromine. Where is bromine? Bromine is right here. It is in what block? It is in my P block. And it looks like a person. It's in the P block, and where in the P block? This would be what? P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, P5. So that means it's going to end in a P5. And remember, with P's take the period number. So it's going to end as a 4P. All right? So let's get rid of this. And let's do bromine. I know it's going to end as a 4P5, right? Where do we start? Way over here, 1s2. And then I go through 3 and 4, 2s2. And then I go 5 through 10, 2p6. Remember, my p's are going to have the same number as my s's, right? So if I have 2s, it has to be followed eventually by a 2p. 2p6. Then 11 electrons 11 and 12. Those are 3s2. And then electrons 13 through 18. Those are 3p6. Then after that, 19 and 20, 4s2. And then I go into this group, right? And this is my D group. How many Ds do I go through? I go through D10. Now, I'm in the fourth period, but remember, the D's are always one less than that. Sorry about that interruption. So remember, the D's are always one less than my S's there. So I have a 4s2 and a 3d10. Okay, to say that pretty, here we go. Or to write that pretty, or to make it look pretty, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4p5. Got it? And you notice I had to look at the periodic table and I counted my 4p5. Is that what we said here? Yeah, 4p5. That's a winner, winner, chicken dinner. Great. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. A neutral, strontium, and tellurium. Okay, I think this is one you can do on your own. Give this a shot. Unpause me when you are done. Okay, strontium. Let's clean this whole mess up. Are you ready? Let's work on strontium. Let's clean this up down at the bottom too. We'll clean everything up. Let's put our blocks in quickly. There's my S block. Here's my D block. Here's my P block. And here's my F block, right? Okay, and we want to do strontium. Where is strontium? Strontium's right here. It is in what block? Strontium is in my P block, excuse me, my S block, S, D, P, right? So it's in my S block. It is under an S2, and it is what period? 5, so it's going to end as 5s2. Are you ready? Here's how it begins. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, right? 3s2, here's my 3s2. Then I have to do my 3p6, and then I have to do my 4s2, and then I have to do this group, and this group is a D, and it's always one less, right? 3d10, and then I have to do this group, which would be what? Back to 4p6. So that would be my strontium. Ready? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, and 5s2. Good? I think that's correct. Good. Now what's the next one? We need to do tellurium. Okay, let's find tellurium and do it. Where is tellurium? Let's clean up some of this a little bit. Good. We're in the P block. Where's my tellurium? Here's tellurium right there. And so it's in the P block. It would be what? P1, P2, P3, P4. So it is a P4. Say P4. Good. So P4 now, what period is it? It's the fifth period. So it's a 5P4. So let's begin. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, right? 3p6. Then what do I have to do? 4s2. And then what's this group? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 3d10. And after 3d10, what is this? Well, that would be 4p6. Oops, I'm running out of space. 4p6. And then, what is this? 5s2. Yes, 5s2. And then, Where do I go here? Oh, I'm in the D block again. So this is now, it's not 5D, it is 4D10. And then after the 4D10, I end up finally in my P block, fifth period, 5P, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5P4. There we go. So that is my tellurium. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, 5s2, 4d10, 5p. Let's clean that up. 5p4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's tellurium. Great. How are we doing on time? Oh, I think maybe we want to quit right here. Ah, I guess we have to. Okay. No, let's go. I think we can finish. Let's finish. We only have two more in the blue, right? Here we go. Consider lead. All right, lead. Where is lead? Lead is way over here. Let's clean this up a little bit. Lead. Here is lead right there. Okay, now what we have to understand about the periodic table is here, let's make this and let's make this. Oops, it goes like here, right? And we make our P block. There's part of my S block, and here's my F block, right? Notice right here, folks, there's a split. That means my lanthanides and actinides, my F block, fits right there, right here. That means this is really part of the 6th period, and this is really part of the 7th period. Okay, now notice where lead is. Lead is in my 6th period. That means for me to get through to lead, I have to cross through my 6 S's, and then where do I go? I have to cross through this group of F's. And then I have to cross through this group of D's before I get to my P's. Now, we said for S and P blocks, N equals period. For the D block, we said N equals period minus 1. Well, what do you think it's going to be for the F block? For the F block, N equals period number minus 2. Got it? So that means when you're in the 6th period, these guys are all 4Fs. And when you're in the 7th period, these guys are all 5Fs. Okay, great. So let's do lead. We can do it now. All right. Here we go. We're almost done for the day. Lead. It's in what period? 6. That means it's going to end as a 6P what? 6P1, 6P2. So it ends as a 6P2. Where does it begin? It begins way over here with hydrogen. 1s2, and then 2s2, and then 2p6, and then 3s2, and then 3p6, and then 4s2, and what comes after 4s? 3d10, and then 4p6, and then 5s2, and then 4d10, and then 5p. I need more space. 5p6, and then what? 6s2, and then what? Okay, after the 6s, we drop down here, and we get what? 4f14, and then we come up here to these guys, 5d10, and finally we end with 6p12, 6p2. So that's lead. Got it? All right. Let's see if you can do polonium on your own. Pause me and bring me back when you have it. Okay, here we go. Polonium. Polonium, are you ready? Polonium. Where's polonium? Polonium's right here. Good. So let's clean all this up. And polonium is in my P block. Where in the P? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4P. And what period is it? It's a 6. So this is going to end up as a 6P4. Let's start way over here. Here we go. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 4s2, and then what comes? 3d10. Then after 3d10, 4p6, 5s2. After the 5 s's, we get the 4d10, 5p6, and then what? 6s2. And then after the 6s2, we drop down to the 6th period of the f's, which would be 4f, 4f14, 5d10, ending with, yoink, 6p4. Woohoo! Yahoo! Yay, we did it. We're done. Okay, that'll be it for now. See you next time. Bye-bye.